Alright, what's good with y'all? I'm making this video. I know that I haven't posted in a minute, but it's because we've been working with clients. We've gotten a lot of, results. You've also got some denials, but most importantly, we've gotten a lot of data. And what's been happening in 2026, ever since 2025, 2024, there's been a lot of, misinterpreted or just misinformation that strictly does not work anymore in 2026. You're a business owner watching this while your business is already profiting, but you're just looking to move, maybe you're using your personal credit cards right now, or maybe you're just using your cash reserves. You want to basically move that to actually business credit. Or you're watching this, right? And you've been trying to apply for business credit, but you're still getting denied, right? You're tired of using on personal credits. You don't want to commingle any funds, get involved with the IRS. Okay, you don't want to use your cash reserves because that's actually when you want to save, and you want to use the bank's money, but you're being getting denied, or you've been probably getting low limits. So the whole point of this video is I'm going to give you guys, what actually moves the needle, what actually gets approved for funding based off, getting myself funding, based off getting clients funding, and just the lies and the myths of like what the information is really being put out there. And it just does not work anymore, okay? Now, if you guys don't know me already, my name is Daniel Dixon Jr., and I help agency owners and service providers access business funding so they can grow, scale, and invest in the business confidently and have the working capital on hand rather than just trying to apply for different banks or getting denied. Right here in this channel, you're going to learn exactly how to actually get approved for business funding. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and click the like button and go ahead and click the subscribe button too so you get more information, get notified whenever I'm dropping these gems and I'm dropping this sauce, yo. The information that works in 2023 and 2024 does not work in 2025, and let me explain. This is what I do. So I had to invest, I had to pay mentors, and I've also studied a lot with a lot of information. Thing is like the information that was 2 years ago strictly just does not work today, okay? The banks have gotten a lot tighter. A lot of people have defaulted on loans, defaulted on credit, right? There's a lot of people that is just getting into like they're starting the business. You'll see a lot of this where it's like, hey, start a business, get access to 50K in capital. They're gonna get them capital, send them to their reps or whatever, and then those people that are truly not business owners, okay, they're defaulting, and now the banks they're tightening up. They have more certainty of what actually gets approved. Okay, that is the whole reason why what the information that works 2 years ago doesn't work today. So if you're trying to do this yourself, you don't actually have real insight and real data, right? We track everything. We track the approvals. We track what we put on the applications, and most importantly, we're tracking like what type of business owner that it is. Okay, we track all this stuff. What is working, like even 6 months ago, it doesn't work today. And because of how people are defaulting, that's like the number one thing. That is why people are getting denied or they're not getting access to capital, because the frameworks just don't work the same as they did a couple of years ago. Another thing too, banks, they operate in seasons. So what do I mean with that? Maybe one quarter, right? Typically at the banks, they're gonna look and see with their data, hey, out of the lending that we gave out, how many people, how many did they pay back? How much money did we make off that from interest? They're basically going to they're going to do reviews, right? You should be doing this with your business, right? Quarter reviews. But a business is going to do a review. And if they notice that, within the most recent amount of time, that if they lent out too much money and people were defaulting, okay, they're going to tighten up, they're going to hold back. Okay, versus let's say if a bank, if they're not making enough money, okay, they might be willing to lend out more during that season. So there's so many different factors when it comes to it that the information that you get online, it may work for like one specific situation, okay? But you also have to keep in mind that there's multiple factors. There's the factor that, hey, it is getting a lot tighter out here. Like these banks, it's becoming a lot more challenging to get access to funding unless you have the right system. This is what we're doing for our clients. Okay, we make sure that they have the right systems. As far as getting access to capital, whether that's their credit, their business structure, there's a lot of things that go into it. So if you're watching this, like say you're a business owner and you're looking to access, you're looking to access more capital, okay, go and click that link in the description, go and fill out the application, and someone on my team will reach out to you and we'll see how we can help you get to the next level. Just had to say that really quick. These banks are operating in seasons. So depending on what season that it is, one bank, right, the data points or the the way that they're giving out lending this quarter might be different in the next 6 months, right? So if you don't have real data or like insights to what's actually going on, it's going to be more challenging to get funding. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing when it comes down to it. Just the information strictly just does not work, right? I've done this myself. I funded myself over 6 figures. Okay. And I understand what actually goes inside the business capital, like as far as getting business credit and investing into your business. As far as the application point, I've been through it myself. Another key factor that was very important as far as getting access to capital, and through my own experience and just helping other business owners doing the same thing, is that it's just not your personal credit that's going to be the reason why you get approved for funding. What do I mean by this? I've seen a lot of business owners, they have a 700+ credit score. They have the most excellent credit profile. They have the credit cards, they have the utilization on point. I mean, they have like a sexy profile. The average age is built properly. But I've even seen this as far as when I first started, of why certain business owners were getting access to capital and why certain business owners cannot get verified, or they basically cannot get access to capital. And the reason is your profile on paper looks great, but the story that the owner in the business is telling is trash. Okay, it does not look good on paper. You can have the best credit score ever. Okay, you can have the greatest credit limits. You have the greatest relationships. That's another factor too. But if your business is not telling the proper story, you're not gonna get access to no capital. Okay, just through my experience, whenever I got access to capital, for some reason, Experian had my Citco listed as construction. And when you're going for business credit cards, when you're going for lines of credit, whatever that it is, right? Some of these banks, they're going to be checking, okay, your business credit scores. And that is one metric that now a lot of banks are checking. That's why I said 3 years ago, you could have got a 700+ credit score in LLC. You could have gotten the fund easily. But because they're becoming more tighter and, you know, these banks, they want to lend out to people that are actually legit. You're not, like, for instance, you're not going to lend out to somebody that you don't even know. Like, if somebody randomly comes to you and is like, hey, can you lend me some money? You're probably going to want to do a background check. Like, hey, who have you asked for money in the past? Okay, how have you paid back? How have you established that relationship with that person? That is the same thing that these banks are doing with you as well. Okay, it's the history. When you're getting access to capital and they see that the credit profile is great, but if you can't identify, or if they can't identify who the actual business owner is or what the business is, they're not going to lend to you. So that's what I'm saying. They had my Citco listed as construction, which I'm not in construction. And when I had to go in and to fix it. And when I actually fixed it, my Experian business credit score actually skyrocketed. And I was shocked about this because I didn't know, like, there's a risk factor. It's the same thing like personal credit. But when you go through this and actually get funding and go through the steps, you actually start to learn and realize a lot of things that it's a little bit different than just getting personal funding. Okay, it's a lot different. There's a lot more factors involved. So when I got access to it, I was like, okay, that's the one thing they have to change. It's the industry, right? It's, you know, how is your business address set up? The story makes sense. Does the business that you have, the revenue, the employees, okay, the expenses, does that make sense as far as what you're telling these bankers, whether that's opening the account or actually applying? And then when you're managing the bank account, are you projecting, like, whatever that you're saying, are you putting in, like, as far as deposits, or how, are you treating it like the actual business would? And because there's so many factors that is going on in 2026 and what was in 2024, 2025, it's a lot more challenging. You have to know exactly what is going on. The point of this video is, if you don't actually go through it yourself, you're never going to know. And if you're not actively doing it, right, then whatever worked 6 months ago is not going to work today. So if you're a business owner, you're just waiting for the perfect time, or you're trying to do it yourself, okay, you have to understand that's just not going to work. Okay, even the things that you can find on, you can try ChatGPT, or you can try to get other free information on YouTube. You have to understand that unless, like, you're working with a real legit company, or you're paying to get access to the information, the banks they're gonna flip and switch the information left and right. Like, by next week. What I'm saying today could be different next week. You just never know, but you have to be actively in the trenches. And that is what we are doing for, you know what I'm saying, our clients, is that we're actively, you know, getting new data points, testing out different things, and just getting data, whether that's an approval or if it is in a denial. We're getting constant data so we can put our clients into the best position so they can get to the next levels. If y'all like this video, like I said, go ahead and click the like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button too. You're gonna get more information. I'm gonna be telling you guys the truth by someone that is actually doing this, and someone that's actually in the field and really wants to help y'all get access to capital. And I can tell you, just for myself and the clients that we've gotten funding, even clients that we didn't at the beginning, it's a lot of data, and it's just really understanding that our mission is to truly help y'all get access to capital. We understand that, hey, you're doing well with the business, but you want to save, you know, more of the cash reserves. Maybe use some personal credit cards. You don't want to, you know, have to continue using that. You want to switch everything over to the business, okay? And if you've already been denied, these little nuggets, this piece of information, it's going to give you more confidence. To be like, okay, now I know exactly what's going on. And that is why you're going to get access to the capital, because it's just little things like that. Okay, it's just those small little nuggets. If you're a business owner watching this, right, you're making a great profit, but you just want to move everything over to the business side, or you're trying to apply for capital, you're getting low limits. Maybe your own banker is telling you they can give you access to capital, but you're getting low limits. What I want you to do is I want you to click the link in my description, fill out the application, and someone in my team is going to reach out to you. We're going to go over your goals, kind of figure out exactly how much funding that you need, and just see how we can position you to get to the next level, and so that you can scale and grow with confidence without any hesitation or without any delays in your funding process. With that being said, again, go and like the video, go and subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video.